Hey y'all, it is Andrea here at VW Family Farm. Today we're gonna take you guys along. We're going to move our two South Pole bulls and we are gonna put them in with our cows so that they will calve next fall of 2023. And I just wanna spend a few minutes and talk to you about spring calving versus fall calving and why would we attempt to do this? Why would we attempt to fall calve? So you can see behind me, there's a few cows sprinkled in here, but for the most part, these are spring calves from spring of 2022. We just weaned them. They're out here. They're being well taken care of. They're looking really good. They're filling out and they're starting to eat and get that rumen going and using their stomachs properly and taking care of themselves away from mom. Also, so that means their moms are out in the field. Our mama cows now, a big portion of them have the calves taken off of them. So they're going into winter when they're going to have their feed mostly be hay. We do have some standing forage and they will be fed a little bit, but mostly they will be on hay for the winter as well as minerals. And so that means they're not nursing a calf. Now they are bred back, they are growing a new calf, but they're not sustaining life for these big old calves right here. So you can see why people would spring calve. That right there is probably the #1 reason, because of the feed for the mama cows. And they're not gonna be trying to produce milk for a new calf right here going into winter. But we're gonna talk about all this. Let's get busy. We're gonna go start moving the bulls and I'll tell you more as we go. So I hope you guys are seeing as we're moving these bulls, one reason we love this South Pole breed. This is just a little break from our video today to say why we raise this breed. You can see how docile they are. You can see they're kind of just following along. They're just really, really docile. That's the #1 thing we love about them, as well as their genetics. They're just made to thrive on grass. So a grass-based operation like we have, we don't feed a lot of feed to supplement them. We do feed some, but we're not making feed the bulk of their diet. And so they just do so well here. You can see when I showed you our spring calves, you can see that they're filling out nicely. And until just a couple weeks ago, grass was all they were on besides their moms. We don't come out and feed our mama cows very rarely. Now we will a little bit in the winter to supplement, but for the most part, they don't need it. They're thriving on grass. And so just really pleased with this breed. And I encourage you, if you're trying to go grass-based, and by grass-based, that's such a loose term these days because every cow eats grass. It doesn't matter. That's what they eat, but a lot of people supplement so much grain that they kind of don't eat much grass anymore. So by grass-based, I mean grass is the bulk of their diet here. It's not just something that they eat a little bit of and then mostly feed them out on corn or soy or something. They eat a lot of grass, and this is a fantastic breed for that. So we're gonna go ahead and get the bulls on in there with the cows. And one thing I wanna mention before we do that, I'm out here, it's windy out here. I do have a coat on, but for the most part, we're not even into like heavy winter here yet. You can see we still have some green behind me. We still have some standing forage around here. So one of the reasons why we want to have a fall calving herd is weather. Because our weather, because putting bulls in today means we will start calving September the 9th. So that is a really good time of year here. We are in central Arkansas. And so that is can still be hot, but it's not anywhere near the heat of midsummer. So the heat pressure is a little less. If a calf is born in September, you're generally gonna have pretty good weather. Now, the only thing that we do deal with in the fall is if hurricanes spin up. You may think, Arkansas, you're not on the coast, but we do get heavy rainfall from hurricanes. So we do have to keep an eye on that. But other than that, fall weather here is generally very mild. So weather is a big factor. That's a big plus for fall calving here for us. Spring calving, let's talk about that a little bit, and weather. So spring is a totally different ball game here. Our winter and cold weather can stretch a bit. Now, nothing like you guys up north, but we definitely could have some snowfall in March. It's happened. It's not unheard of. We can have lots of really cold rain, which is almost just as bad as snow for a baby calf to be sitting out in just a downpour. It can get really, really mucky and muddy as everything's thawing and you're having the spring rains. They can get stuck in the mud, just all kinds of things. Now, we do have spring calving here and we will continue to, but the weather advantage definitely goes to the fall calving. Another thing I want to mention about fall calving is the market value of your calves. If you consider the fact that most calving here in America happens in the spring. Now, there is people that do herds in the fall, but for the majority it's spring calving. So that means in the spring there's just not the numbers of calves for sale as there is in the fall. And there are many farmers that buy in the spring and graze them all summer on their grass and let them gain weight, and they sell in the fall. So if you think about that, fall calving lines up with that really well. Fall calving puts those calves in the market at a time that the demand is high and the supply is a lot lower. So you're gonna get a lot more for your calves that are born in the fall. So with that in mind, why wouldn't everybody do it? Well, the simple fact why most people don't calve in the fall and why they do calve in the spring is nutrition. The nutrition requirements of mama cows as they are leading up to giving birth, and then after they give birth, they need good nutrition for like 60 days is their peak lactation after their calf is born. Their calf at that point is pretty much solely dependent on that milk they produce. And to produce that, they need to be in a good body condition and they need to have plenty to eat. So a lot of farmers will time it to where they have spring grasses right before they calve so they can put on some weight, and then especially after, as they're trying to recover and produce milk, and then shortly thereafter get rebred and all those things that happen in that tight window. So while these cows and heifers out here right now may be at a pretty good body condition score, which simply means it's how they measure, you know, how healthy they are. A lot of factors go into that. Well, they may be pretty good because we've just come out of summer not too long ago and we had some fall growth and things on our grasses. They may be in decent condition right now. You think about as they go through the winter after having calved in the fall, trying to take care of themselves and nurse a calf. They're talking to y'all. And all the things that come with that while surviving on supplemented forage. Because I'm going to show you, just like right out here right now, we are rolling out hay every day. That's the bulk of their diet right now. We are moving them back to our fields where we have some standing hay. But until they get back there to that, they're eating hay that we harvested in the summer every day. So you think about what they're gonna be like come spring. They're liable to be a bit skinnier. They're liable to have less of a body condition score because they've had to take care of themselves and a calf that's totally dependent on them. A lot of times, just like we just put the bulls in today, a lot of times also trying to be rebred. Their body is trying to do a lot. Now, that is some disadvantages to fall calving. There's some disadvantages to spring calving, like I've mentioned. So I'm not trying to like sell you one way or the other. I'm just trying to give you the facts. So let's talk about here on our farm. We have a lot of cows out here right now, probably close to 80. These two bulls are not going to breed all 80 of those because the majority of them, probably 60 of them, are already bred. They are our spring calvers, and so they're well into their pregnancy, and they will be due come spring 2023. So there's only a group of heifers that were first-time heifers that we AI'd or artificially inseminated last December. They calved this fall. We've already weaned out probably about 6 or 8 of those who did not calve in a timely manner. So there's a small group out there that the bulls are out there breeding, and they will know, they will be able to pick them out. They will not have to breed this entire herd. So you may be thinking, well, why do you fall calve? Why don't you just spring calve? You mentioned so many benefits of it. Well, that's a great question. And for us, it has a really easy answer. So to answer that and to wrap all this up and to tell you why we do what we do here on this farm, I have to take you back where this video started. So you guys saw the baby calves back there still in with their moms. Those were our fall calves from this year. But up here, running towards me right now, these are our spring calves from this year. And you can see that's quite a difference in size. As I said earlier, there's a few cows out here, but for the most part, these are calves that were born spring of 2022 here on VW Family Farm. So you may be thinking, okay, what does that mean? Well, here on our farm, we're in the meat business, and frankly, any cattle farmer is. They may not be directly marketing to the consumer, but if you're raising cows, you're raising beef. And we are directly linked to the consumer, where we're selling retail cuts of beef as well as wholes and halves directly to the customer. So what does that have to do with fall versus spring calving? Well, for us, it has everything to do with it. If you look closely out here among these calves, you can see some size differences even amongst these. Well, can you imagine the size differences amongst spring-born versus fall-born calves in the same year? It can be quite drastic. So as I mentioned, we process our own beef for retail cuts, meaning you can buy just a roast or a steak from us by the pound. Or we have people buying wholes and halves, which they're paying by the rail weight, which is after it gets to the processor and has been partly processed. That's the rail weight. That's for a whole nother video. But if I'm trying to take only spring-born calves and stretch those out for a year until we have more the next year to process, that can be quite a large variety of weights. And that's a lot of guesswork in trying to price things. It's a lot of inconsistency on size as far as cuts of meat and things. Of course, this is an extreme example, but people don't want to expect a 2 to 3 pound roast from you and get a half-pound roast, and just vice versa. I know that's kind of not feasible, but you get what I'm saying. We need more consistency in weights, and the way we found to do that is calve more often than just spring or fall. So here on our farm, the answer is we do both, and we will continue to do both. There's a couple of advantages to doing both that I know just off the top of my head from experience. One of those is you can have less bulls. So you can find bulls that you really like and you don't have to have as many of them, because if they're only trying to breed half your herd as opposed to your entire herd, that makes a world of difference. Secondly, and very important for us, it makes the weights and things more consistent. So if you're trying to stretch out your beef for an entire year, you can imagine the differences in weights that you're going to have. Well, if you calve in the spring and the fall, you've essentially cut that in half, that difference that you're experiencing in sizes of your calves that you're taking to butcher. Also take into consideration, if your calving window is, say, 60 days long in the spring and 60 in the fall, you've cut that even further down. So now you've got calves being born potentially 2 months in the spring and 2 months in the fall. So now you're having calves born 4 out of the 12 months of the year. So you've almost got a steady supply, and it just works out much, much better. We are working towards having beef ready all the time for people. The demand is high. People are buying from local farms. If the last couple years taught us anything, it taught us that shelves can be empty. I think we all said that, but did we really believe it? I don't know if I did, because it was pretty shocking to me when it happened, when things just couldn't get to the stores. There weren't people working in the factories to produce the things. They weren't to be had, some of them. Not to mention just people making a run on the grocery store and buying up anything and everything they could get their hands on. So the demand is very high for people buying from local farms. And so we need a steady supply, and we need a really constant supply in uniformity and sizes and things and quality. And so that is the main reason. And so to answer your question, which is better, spring or fall? In my opinion, they're just different. There's not one that's better, they're just different. And in our case, I'm thankful we can do both. Here where we live, we're able to do that, and it works out pretty good, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. If you have any questions that we can help you with, we would love to. We're by no means experts, but we're just people learning as we go, and we'd love to help you learn too. So shoot us an email, vwff@yahoo.com, leave us a comment. I encourage you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know when we upload videos. If you would you share us with someone on your social media or by word of mouth or just whatever? We would love for this little platform to grow. We're thankful for the growth we've had, but we would love to grow even further and reach more people. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you are doing fantastic this holiday season and that you find joy in your life and joy in those around you. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and God bless.